We're gonna do a little bit of a bake along. And I have my handy dandy helpers, Hazel and You're Killing Me Smalls from Sandlot. So today we're going to be making a chocolate chip peanut butter marshmallow pizza. And it's going to be delicious, right? So first things first, let me just go over our ingredients. We have a half cup of shortening, a half cup of peanut butter, a half cup of sugar, just white sugar, a half cup of packed brown sugar, 2 eggs at room temperature. We're going to use a half teaspoon of vanilla extract. Right now it's still just in the box. 1.5 cups plus 5 tablespoons of flour. Now the recipe didn't call for this, but we read some of the comments and folks did recommend adding a half teaspoon of salt to the mixture. We have approximately 2 cups of miniature marshmallows, which we didn't have miniature marshmallows, so what we did is we took giant ones and we cut them because you can cut marshmallows and it's pretty fun. And last but certainly not least, we have a cup of chocolate chips. We actually have a 3/4 cup of chocolate chips because we have the itty bitty ones, like the super wee ones, but if you have the regular size ones, I would go for a full cup. Okay? So that's what we have and what we need to get started. So the first thing you're going to do is preheat your oven to 375. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Okay, next we're going to cream the shortening. The peanut butter. And the sugars. That's right.
We're
Going to cream those until they are light and fluffy. Now, if you have a stand mixer, you certainly can use that. Or if you want to, mix by hand, that's fine too, but we're going for light and fluffy.
Before you're done, once you want to scrape it off the bottom, at least once. Make sure you got it all clean. I like to stop it when I do this to keep you from getting your fingers caught in there.
Good idea.
Just lead up your arm pretty quick.
So did everybody hear that? If you're using a mixer, be sure to stop at least once way through because sometimes things will get stuck to the side of the bowl so that way you have a chance to get in there and make sure all of your ingredients get mixed. And of course, if you're mixing by hand, just make sure everything makes it into the mixture. It smells delicious.
That's pretty fluffy.
All right, next we're going to beat in the eggs. vanilla. Will you do us a favor, Hazel, and open up that vanilla?
Of course.
Vanilla.
Oh, hold that.
Now be very careful when you're opening up anything, when you're working in the kitchen in general. You guys know this. But if you ever have someone younger helping you, like maybe you're babysitting, make sure to be very careful and also pay attention, because baking is a lot of fun, but you do need to make sure you're getting the right ingredients and the right measurements, right? Right.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, that's 1/2 tablespoon. What's that, 1/2 teaspoon? We almost had a very vanilla dessert.
That would not be
The little tea in there. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
It would also have been very salty.
It would have been very salty. It would just been a whole problem. So again, make sure that you're getting your measurements right with flavor. I don't know if any of you watched Nailed It, but you'll hear Jacques Torres say it again and again. A little bit of flavor goes a long way.
So vanilla. All right, so it's just the vanilla and the...
Beat the eggs and the vanilla in next. And then once those are in, we will add our flour mixture. It is smelling delicious and peanut buttery. So you can sort of see how it's all mixed together. And again, we're going to stop to make sure all of our ingredients are getting in there. Next, we're going to add in our flour, and we are also going to add in a 1/2 teaspoon of salt, because that was something all the folks commenting recommended. So even though it wasn't in the original recipe,
It's kind of tough.
we are going to add that.
Yep. I know, it's tough.
This recipe was found on tasteofhome.com, but really, if you want to find really tasty recipes to make, seriously, you can type in easy desserts to make in under 30 minutes and you will have tons of options. Now make sure if you are using a stand mixer that you don't crank it all the way up to full speed, because you will have a mess on your hands. You can already see like stuff is starting to puff out a little bit, and we don't want that. Or if you're working with your hands, that works too. Just, you know, if you do make a mess, and messes happen, that's totally fine. Just make sure you clean up afterwards.
What's the next step?
So now, if you're ready for the next step, which it looks like we're pretty well mixed, what we're going to do is we are going to take, we're using a flat pan. Sometimes kitchen utensils break, that happens. We're going to use a flat baking pan, but if you have a 12-inch round pizza pan, you can use that as well. So we're going to pat this mixture into the bottom of a greased pizza pan or baking or cookie sheet, depending on what you are using. Because what we're going to do is we're going to bake this first for a bit, and then we're going to add our toppings and then bake for a little bit longer. So, yep.
Right, pan left over there.
Yep.
Ooh, I see.
So, can you tip it down so they can see? That's what it's going to look like, right? Okay. All right, so we are now going to... Do you want this to grease it? What do you need to grease it?
I was just going to use spray.
Okay. So you can use a spray to grease it. You just want to make sure that you can get your pizza crust, your cookie pizza crust, off of the pan. It's an important step. So now, if you have not already, like we have already done so, but if you have not, obviously make sure that you have your hands washed because you are going to be touching all of this food too, okay? So now we're going to pat that into our tray and we're going to try and spread it out to all the corners if we can. All right. Ready?
Okay.
Yep, so pat it down, squish it out. You're going to try and spread it out. Do 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 do. Delicious. Once we have everything patted down, we are going to bake, because remember we've had our oven preheating at 375. It's almost there. But once you have this patted in, you will bake for 16 minutes. Now everyone's oven's a little different, so I would recommend checking on it maybe a little bit before. You can still set the timer so you have a roundabout idea, but you might have an oven that cooks faster or slower, either which way. So just make sure to keep an eye on it. Because what we're gonna do is we're gonna bake this, we'll bring it back out, we'll add our marshmallows and our chocolate chips.
So I'm gonna set this out and
Ready?
to the side because I'm gonna put it in and it's gonna be really hot.
All right. Once your pizza crust is done baking, you're gonna bring it out. Be very careful because it's gonna be very hot. And now you are going to sprinkle your marshmallows and your chocolate chips over the top. We are going to be baking it for a little bit longer, but we're gonna start with that.
Do you want to try sprinkling the chocolate chips? Maybe put some chocolate chips in your hand.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead and
Yeah,
just
well,
start
you can-
sprinkling it.
These don't sprinkle because they're all stuck together.
Right. Ours don't sprinkle as well because we cut larger marshmallows, but if you have mini marshmallows, they will obviously sprinkle quite lovely. Lovely. Ooh, careful.
Yep.
Are you okay?
Sorry.
That's okay. Don't be sorry to us. You're the one who got
Here,
touched
you want to
the
just wait?
Yeah, we're all working real close together.
Yeah, don't you worry. We got it.
I think we got plenty of marshmallows.
Nice. Allow me to move these marshmallows a little bit closer so we can get them.
You okay? Did it hurt?
No.
Okay.
You can run cold water on
Yep.
it if you want.
And if you do happen to burn yourself, run cold water over it, and that'll help a lot.
I like me.
Now, some folks even suggested if you want to make it even more decadent and want to take the time, you could drizzle chocolate over the top. Some people added M&Ms or other, different candies. All right. Now it's going to go back in for another 3 to 5 minutes.
Hey, watch out, Hazel.
Another 3 to 5 minutes should allow it to bake until it is lightly brown on the top. Again, depending on your oven, you'll probably just want to sort of pay attention and watch. Ours tends to go pretty quickly, so we're going to do a 3 minute to start, and then if we need more time, we can add more time. Okay, so we're ready to pull it out. Again, we're watching for it to be sort of browned on the top. Browned, not round. I realize that sounded weird. As we're watching it, we are following the recipe from Taste of Home, but be sure that when you're looking at recipes, especially recipes online, read the comments. read the comments. People will share ideas. Like someone on there was like, oh, I feel like they might be missing or might have benefited from some salt, for example. So, and please ignore all of our construction equipment in the back. We are redoing our kitchen. But it smells delicious. Now you're going to want to make sure to give it time to cool before you enjoy it. One other thing I saw from folks was saying that once it gets super cool, the marshmallows can kind of get sticky and come off. So just be aware that this is a messy treat to eat, but it smells delicious in here. I'm going to take this off so we can get a nice close-up.
Could have left it a little bit longer because the marshmallows were just starting to caramelize on the top.
Yeah. So we could have probably left it a little bit longer, but look at that chocolatey, marshmallowy deliciousness. So yes, we could have left it a little bit longer for the marshmallows to get a little more caramelized, but chocolate and delicious. Yeah. So thank you guys so much for joining us. Let me know if you try this. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you have any comments on how to make it even better. Thank you guys so much for joining me, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.